Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille Show. My name is Jerry Miller. We are live in Charlottesville across the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille Network. Thank you kindly for joining us on an absolute glorious day to be alive. The dynamic aspect of this program is you can offer your commentary in the comment section, whether it's Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. Put it in the feed, and I will share it to our guests who are in studio at our building on Market Street in historic Charlottesville's downtown mall. Judah Wickhauer is our director. A lot I want to cover first before we welcome a good friend of the program and Valerie Easter to the show. We will also welcome co-founder Arthur Young to the program. Before we do, a couple of items I need to get out of the notebook. First, the show on the network presented and powered by Ting Fiber Internet, guys. It's the best of the best. If you don't believe me, wait to hear what Valerie Easter has to say in about 2 minutes on this program. Before we get to Val and Arthur, a couple things I want to talk about first. We're going to host a live debate here on Tuesday with every candidate that's running for Charlottesville City Council. So we're going to have Carl Brown in studio, Brian Pinkston in studio, Juan Diego Wade in studio, and Yaz Washington in studio. Furthermore, Kathy Galvin, former Charlottesville City Councilor, will moderate and host this debate. The whole reason we're doing this is not to talk politics, it's to get you an introduction of who's running. You need to know who's running for office at the local level. You can make a legitimate argument. Local government has more of an impact on your life than federal government does. So the candidates in-house, and folks, I want to say this for the record, I welcome Nikia Walker to come to the debate. She did not respond to my message. I did invite her to the debate. One more item on that note. Josh Karp, who got the signatures to run for city council last Thursday, he has since dropped out of the debate, citing anxiety. So he was in the running for 5 days and 20 hours before dropping out of the city council race. Anxiety. Maybe a potential customer for Uncle Yogi's. I don't know. Josh Karp, thank you for the courage to try to run for council, and we are certainly empathetic to any and all anxiety, certainly as we come out of COVID. I certainly feel that. Basketball thing I want to get out of the notebook. We've had 3 transfers from the Virginia men's basketball team. Some folks on the message boards are panicking. Casey Morsell and McCoy being the 2 most impactful transfers. I'm going to say this. I believe in Tony Bennett. I think Tony Bennett runs a hell of a program. Transfers are impacting every program across the country. I think Tony's going to get a handful of guys that are going to make an impact on this team. Let's just sit back and have faith in Coach Tony Bennett. Last item out of the notebook before we get to Valerie Easter and Arthur Young. Let's go to Lloyd Snook's Facebook page. Judah, if you can put that on screen. Officially today, the statues can be removed from the parks in Charlottesville. I'm talking the Lee statue and the Jackson statue. So that was announced today. They can officially be removed. Now, Lloyd Snook, I'm going to read this verbatim from his Facebook page, says, while this is a day to celebrate, we still have some time before the statues peace out, hasta luego from public parks. He says this, and I'll read it verbatim for you. The Virginia Supreme Court today reversed the circuit court judge's opinions and said that the Lee and Jackson statues could come down. However, people need to know that it can't happen right away. The case doesn't actually end until the Virginia Supreme Court issues its mandate. The court won't issue its mandate until 3 deadlines have passed. 1, the losing party has the right to file a notice of intent to seek rehearing within 10 days from today. 2, if a notice of intent has been filed, the losing party has the right to file an actual petition for rehearing within 30 days from today. And 3, if a petition has been filed, the court may direct the city to respond before deciding whether to grant the petition for rehearing or may simply deny the petition for rehearing. Lord only knows how long that may take. Here's the bottom line. We're a little bit closer to the finish line, which is good, but we still have a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo to get through before these statues get out of these public parks. Closer to the finish line, not there yet. We will follow it closely here on the I Love CVille Show. Now, Judah Wickhauer, why don't we go to the studio camera, my friend, and let's welcome to this show Valerie Easter and Arthur Young, the co-founders of Uncle Yogi's Picnic Basket. Ladies first. I know you well, but for those that don't, how about an introduction to Valerie Easter?
I am Valerie Easter, and one of the co-founders of Uncle Yogi's. I also sell real estate in the area, and this is kind of our passion project for both of us. And it's named after my little brother that a lot of you all know passed away, and he was he stood up for the underdog, and he got his nickname because of a situation where he stood up for a friend that is now called Boo Boo. And so he was called Yogi, friend is Boo Boo, and we just felt that it was a fitting name for the company. So here we are.
Serial entrepreneur?
Yes.
A mom?
Entrepreneur, mom.
Yeah? Someone who sees opportunity
investor,
everywhere?
Have a ton of Airbnbs that we've been working on, and they're packed. I mean, every day they're getting new bookings. So from Richmond, we've got one downtown, we've got one in Albemarle, and we've got one in Richmond. So busy.
As a real estate investor myself, I really love the blood, sweat, and tears you put into the properties. Mm-hmm. The Richmond one in particular, you showed the before and after. And it wasn't just blood, sweat, and tears. You were designing, mm-hmm. you're getting them online so they start monetizing right away. Super impressed. Okay. How did we get to the point of Uncle Yogi's picnic basket?
Honestly?
From real estate and entrepreneurship. I mean, it very much fits in the same category of being an entrepreneur, but how Uncle Yogi's picnic basket?
So, all honesty.
Please.
I feel like I've done it. I've sold 100 homes in a year. Uh-huh. I've done real estate coaching. I've made well into the six figures with real estate income. I've had a team. Yeah. I've kind of done all of that stuff. And at this point, I'm looking for more ways to build passive income in a company that is marketable, sellable, replicable down the road. So it's kind of, I've gotten to that point. I've worked hard. I've paid my dues. I have that business acumen. I've got great contacts that have connected me with amazing people around the country that actually have helped elevate Uncle Yogi's into something that, we don't know what the limit is with that. So it's really, really exciting. And it's all through just, maintaining and building those relationships throughout the years with real estate.
Travis Elliott giving you some props right now.
I love Travis.
It's watching the show.
Come watch him play music.
Yeah, Travis Elliott, you're welcome here anytime. Grace is watching the program outside Las Vegas. She's a UVA graduate. Her family moved to Las Vegas. I love when Sin City watches this program. Thank you for your support, Grace. Let's go to this gentleman.
Arthur Young.
Talk to us, baby.
That's hard to follow.
It is.
Yeah. So we share that same that vision and passion for this, and so I've been caddying for 15 years.
Cool.
So as far as CBD goes, it can definitely help with the pain mentally with golf.
You're talking physical pain.
Yeah, I'm talking mental pain and physical pain.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just playing golf is enough. So with the anxiety of trying to keep the ball on the planet is hard, and the physical pain too. So yeah, and I think it's very special to go down this journey with Val, with someone that you love. It's pretty exciting as well. So yeah, man, we're excited.
I love it. Aaron King is watching at the Purple Building at Feast right now. We love you, Aaron King. I believe a Western Albemarle High School graduate. Aaron King
did some great gift baskets for us at Feast before. So
she's watching. Okay, so let's do some questions that are going to be elementary for you guys, but for the viewers, maybe not so. Okay. This is probably one you get all the time. CBD versus THC. How often do we get that question?
Often.
Yeah.
Less and less now.
Okay.
I hope. One gets you high and one doesn't.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Yep, it is. And there's so many differences. Uh-huh. So like a lot of times you'll have people that say, I tried CBD, it didn't work. And so then they just kind of, nix it and they're just like done. And they try to go back to Advil or whatever other pain relievers they use. But there's so many factors. So you've got CBD, you've got CBDA. Okay. So the CBDA is actually like the raw version. Uh-huh. So once you process it, it turns into CBD. Okay. You've got the terpenes, you've got CBG, you've got THCA, you've got THC, you've got, there's just so many different parts of the cannabis plant that does different things. And so you can have different combinations of CBD and CBG, which helps with the pain, or CBDA and CBG, And it's just, everything's different. A different strain's different for somebody versus, like, one strain for you might make you tired, but for me, it might give me all this energy. And so you really have to pick and go through the process and not give up, because it is truly a process to find what works. And from a edible to a topical to vaping to smoking, I mean, it's going to affect you differently. So just don't give up. And but CBD does not get you high. CBDA does not get you high. You will feel sometimes, depending on which strain, you'll feel like a wave of just calmness, and the anxiety goes away, and the stuff that you were worried about just doesn't matter anymore. But it's not a high feeling. But Delta 8 can make you feel a little loopy, and that is a legal CBD. It's Delta 9 is THC. Delta 8 is still CBD.
Look at Val over here, Arthur.
I know, she's a scientist too.
Yeah. What can't this lady do over here, Arthur?
She doesn't have a jump shot.
She doesn't have a jump shot. I bet you can work on that. I hear you've been playing a lot of golf, too. John Gordon watching the program, giving you props. Regina Opal, Lynn Young, Curtis Shaver, our homie watching the broadcast. That gentleman loves the CBD and the THC. I love you, Curtis Shaver. Andre Xavier, my boy, welcome to the show. Arthur, jump in here. Uncle Yogi's Picnic Basket, the start of the brand and where you'd like to see it evolve to.
Okay. Well, Val told you as far as the name and the start and trying to help is the main thing. As far as the evolution and watching the growth, I'd like for it to be a viable option for everyone and to be as accessible as what has been accessible throughout the years, like Val was talking about with prescription drugs or over the counter, and for the stigma to finally go away. And that it's not THC, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just truly isn't. And we are not doctors, and even though Val plays one on television, she is not a scientist. But we do work closely with scientists and like-minded people that are truly trying to help. And so, trying to help people, man, it's all we're really trying to do. Wish we didn't have to charge, but we do. So that's what's up. That's what we're doing.
CBD, all the rage. So much so that, like, soccer moms are going to, like, and I'm not pointing to you, I'm saying soccer moms in my neighborhood are coming to family picnics in the neighborhood and saying, here's some CBD samples. You want to try?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like at that point now.
Yeah, we're trying, what we're doing, so Uncle Yogi's Picnic Basket, and another reason behind the name is we want to have baskets of different companies. So that's like what the Yum brand. So that's
the holding company.
That's the holding company.
Yeah.
So Uncle Yogi's is going to buy. So we've partnered up with a company called Mortar that's based out of Seattle, Washington. Okay. And Jared Mursky is one of the owners. He is like, look him up. He is 500,000 followers on social media plus, and he's kind of one of the pillars in the cannabis industry. Okay. And he is helping us focus on a golf-specific brand. So we're working on rebranding, finding a name, a logo for just a golf-specific brand. And so we'll have anywhere from CBD patches to CBD chewing gum to pain sticks to just regular tinctures. We've talked with people, Derek Robinson locally, about carrying a CBD water for golf. And then we have a skincare line that's through Uncle Yogi's. But we're working on finding a name for the skincare line. So that has all natural products that are eco-certified. So what we're putting into our body is truly all natural. And nature is amazing. Like, it does everything. We don't need to put all of the chemicals and the crap into our body that we do. And what was it? I was talking about a study the other day that I had read that there are 42 unidentified chemicals in our body that we've gotten somewhere from something we put on, breathed in, absorbed through time. And that's terrifying.
That is terrifying.
And the stuff there's lotions and skincare products that we're putting on our skin that they're finding in women's breast milk, that they're transferring to their children. So these are things that are going on your skin subdermally that you're transferring to children, that's going that deep into your body. And so being mindful of that.
And you're a mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what started the whole skincare, because I was looking at what Aubrey was putting on her skin. I was like, oh my
Your daughter.
gosh, my daughter.
Yeah.
Because she's 12 and she's starting that
Sure.
stuff. So the attitude and all. But
Let's throw this to you here. We got questions coming in. For those that are offering questions, I promise we will get to them. Just put them in the feed. Michelle Snow's giving you the heart emojis here.
She's our neighbor.
She's your neighbor?
Uh-huh.
Okay, fantastic. Kelly Gotzi just shared the feed.
she's a neighbor.
Okay, fantastic. I got folks outside San Antonio watching you right now that watch the program regularly. Let me throw this to you, Arthur. Where's the space gonna go from like a government standpoint? We got the governor. We talked about this. Now this is marijuana. It's different.
In this state of Virginia, or Commonwealth of Virginia, that's huge, though.
Right. Okay.
Not the most progressive.
Sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially with a state that, or a Commonwealth that was so tobacco focused.
Yeah.
I was astonished that we're one of, not the first,
No.
but one of the first few that are coming to market here. What do you think the flip book is going to happen from, say, like a Commonwealth level, federal level, and then how that could trickle down to like the local level here in Charlottesville?
Well, like we were talking about with the Commonwealth of Virginia, I think that's a pretty good barometer socially, if anything, if nothing else, of where we are. I think because for years it was always Colorado or California.
Right.
And so with that changing, and like we were talking about with Virginia kind of stepping forward, and don't want to get too far into the red and blue thing, but it is. Yeah, man, I think that is definitely trending. If it starts at a federal level, then state, and then obviously local, so that trickle-down effect in a good way is moving towards, it's not really it being legal as far as what we're doing
Sure.
with CBD, because that's already been done. But once that little pebble starts rolling down that hill, I think that eventually the THC in the Commonwealth of Virginia will be, as it is, in 2024, I guess, is what they're forecasting. Yeah, man, I think it's going in the right direction.
Like the revenue stream
yeah,
for
there's that as well.
That's what I wanted to go down that road. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I think that it's a huge revenue stream. My fear is that, because if you're looking at the different taxation that they're doing in different states, I hope that it doesn't, there's like a 21% tax. It's a little bit astronomical.
Yeah, it's steep.
And it's really steep.
And they're using the taxes for education funding. In some states.
In some states.
Yeah.
Just like the lottery here,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah.
The lottery funds education in Virginia. He's right.
Yeah, but it's just, but the problem is that it makes the processor or the business, the wholesalers like us have to increase our prices to cover those high taxes. So then we're not able to give it to as many people because there's not insurance that covers CBD products. But it will help, tons of people from, anxiety. That was the biggest thing with Caleb. Like, I just remember when we'd go on vacation, he had like a Rumpelstiltskin fit. And I'm like, you just wanted to like shake him and be like, Caleb, chill out.
Yeah.
But once he got there, he was fine.
Yeah.
And it was just that anxiety of getting to that point. And I have friends that, they have a pill when they get up in the morning to help wake up. They've got an ADHD pill. They've got an anxiety pill. They have a sleeping pill. They have, all kinds of, they're waiting to take their next pill.
Yeah.
And we really, truly believe that through educating the populace and through bringing better products, because there's a lot of crap products out there that are CBD. And it's just, finding those good products is another challenge. But once we can get that out to the people and educate the people around, locally, statewide, nationally, I think that, people can stop taking all of those drugs, because you really, naturally, there's so many things in nature that can help with all of these things that we have. But instead, Big Pharma has their grip, everything. Look at the commercials. Like, are you sad?
Yeah.
Do you feel bad?
Yeah.
Do you wake up tired?
That's everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
like
called
going on
life.
WebMD, right? It's like, oh Christ, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
That's everybody.
I know, but it's like, seriously, like, come on. Like, if you could find just a natural product for this, because I check, those commercials come on, I check like 3/4 of the box, but it's like, I can deal with this stuff though. It's like naturally.
Nicholas Erpy,
So-
welcome to the broadcast. We love the Erpy family here. Jump in here, Arthur. What are you thinking about?
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting ready to drive 12 hours to Florida,
Yeah.
you know?
Thinking which CBD tincture he should take.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a 10 and a 12-year-old in the back seat, so it's too bad that they can't take some of the chill out tinctures.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we were talking about legislation earlier. Maybe, you know, we can use her kids for guinea pigs. Yeah, I'm just really excited, man. You know, to be honest, being on the golf course for 15 years, time for a change. And if I can help some of my brothers out there on the track, like the PGA Tour, it is no longer a banned substance on the PGA Tour, which is really exciting. There are products, however, that some of the guys are still testing positive for THC, which is a problem because there are cannabinoids. So trying to get in that golf space with this product, and pretty stoked about that.
I like it. Throw questions that are coming to you guys here.
Okay.
The education piece. So this is a question. This is from a mom. Can you explain the education piece and how this is not only going to apply to us as moms, but also kids as well? And I think what she's referencing is, we all grew up, we all got after it from time to time, and we all remember the beverages that were
Yeah.
clearly marketed for teenagers, right? I mean, like, once we became adults, we're like, okay, we're not going to do that. You know what I'm talking about?
I think Four Loko was marketed to teenagers.
That's a perfect example. That's the one I was.
wrong with Four Loko.
That's the one I was thinking about.
They
Four
changed the
Loko.
recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So she's asking about the education for, say, moms who've never tried it, and then also for kids. And you can speak firsthand to this.
Yeah. So for kids, they still, right now, I think it's 18 for using the cannabis products. As they do, it's such an unknown area. So, and you're not going to test it on kids. And so that's kind of where the rub is. But as far as safety-wise, pets, they do a lot with pets, and they're seeing that you have to be careful with your pets taking CBD products.
Okay.
Because CBD does affect the liver, and they metabolize it a lot faster. So that's why we're working on a CBDA product, because it does not affect the liver. CBG does not affect the liver. So I think that might be part of the education part for moms and just for people in general. We have a water-soluble product that you can put in your coffee in the morning, or you can put in your tea at lunch, or your beer, that we've talked to a couple breweries and wineries about just carrying little tiny 7-milliliter bottles. But, I think the biggest thing with moms and just anybody is just try it. And see how, because you're not going to feel like this, it's not going to be a giant change, but you will notice a difference. Like, we have a capsule that's a CBDA and CBG, and I take one in the morning, and it lasts like 10 hours of pain-free. And I can tell at the end of the day when it starts wearing off. And it's just like, because all of a sudden, because I broke my back, for those of you who don't know, in a car accident in 2002. So I had rods put in and rods put out, but I'm constantly just dealing with that pain. So I can tell when that stuff wears off.
This is an interesting one. This is from Laura Monk via Instagram. And she says, can you guys explain the difference between something that is drank in a juice or beverage form or an edible?
Yeah. So
that's just consumption, essentially, because what's in both of those is the same.
Except if you drink it in alcohol. So alcohol acts as a carrier, and so it will get into your bloodstream faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of the difference between, an edible versus a topical. An edible is going to get into your bloodstream faster than a topical. But they are doing...
Yeah, now they have
Now they're getting patches that are, like, pretty fast. And Jared was telling us that they have a powdered substance that you can put into your drink that hits you. It's a THC product. This is in Washington State. That hits you in like 12 seconds. which is really fast, because usually that's the joke about
Yeah.
edibles, is that you just keep having them, then all of a sudden it all catches up to you.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and the dog ends
Yeah.
up walking you kind of thing.
Right, then you're melting in the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get what you're talking about. Let me throw this to you here. There's another one, and this is a good one for you. Have we learned good and bad from the states like Colorado and California? If so, what is that good and bad? And that's from Stephen Colvin.
Well, yeah, I think so. I don't really know the bad because I don't know. I know people who have complained, like Val was talking about with pricing.
Uh-huh.
I know that it has turned into almost like a 7-Eleven where there are dispensaries on every corner, which I don't think is a bad thing. But if you were like a mom and pop shop, I've heard stories of maybe like a Walmart superstore kind of coming in. So, but that's always going to be the case in capitalism. That's something you're going to have to fight anyway. I know that the revenue that the state of Colorado is made
crushing.
It's crushing it.
Yeah.
The bad parts that did happen is the banking, because a lot of the institutions, financial institutions,
We're not loaning.
Yeah,
we're not loaning
Yeah.
or accepting the cash.
Right.
So I remember the stories with people, taking all the cash out of their vaults at the end of the day and getting robbed in, Colorado or California or Washington State because the financial institutions weren't. And that was a challenge with us too, finding a credit card processor that will do CBD and finding a bank that
Was that
will
hard?
It was hard.
Really?
It was.
So-
And I had no idea it was going to be.
Yeah, they will actually hold our money because it is a cannabis-based business.
Okay.
So
Is that because we're so early on the frontier?
I think so.
I
Yeah?
think so. I
Yeah.
think that, and I think that it's just an unknown area, and people, if they don't know something, they get scared, and so that's the reason why a lot of people don't try CBD. They think they're going to get high, and it's not scary. Just try it.
Right. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do here. So throw this question to you. And Arthur, I'll throw it to you first. We had this conversation for, I think, over a year. And how I see it, it's just a businessman coming out in me here, is I see in this market, we pride ourselves in supporting local. Let's just take Charlottesville and Central Virginia.
Okay.
We love local beer, local wine, local food, local restaurants.
Yep.
I think we're going to try to support these local brands as much as possible. But what would prevent, say, like a company I'm invested in that's publicly traded, Canopy Growth? Canopy Growth is backed by Constellation Brands. Constellation Brands is a major global player in beer distribution, alcohol distribution, and now has a large equity stake in Canopy Growth to the point where they're scaling this company across the globe. So what would prevent somebody like a Canopy Growth and their market share and their economies of scale to come in and corner the market and push the little guy out?
Nothing stops
I'm
that.
fearful of that. Should I be fearful of that?
I don't know if fearful is the right word. I mean, that's in any industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to have a mom and pop's, used car lot, right? So that doesn't really bother me. I think that should be celebrated more than it is.
Walk me through that because of the education piece that's getting out there? Okay.
Absolutely. That means that things are moving in that right area. If they have enough backing financially and with people, right, to get something that big, that doesn't bother us. I think that the strength of the product itself will outlast that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sad.
I mean, there's a reason that Three Notch is still open, and people are going to buy Budweiser. Of course, why not? But there is something to be said about the story behind a product. If it is coming from a Central Virginia farm, you can see it, you can touch it, you can breathe it. I don't think that'll ever go away.
Well said. What do you think, Val?
I agree with him, and we're a niche product. We have different niches that we're working towards, and a lot of those companies like Canopy, they're big.
Global.
They're global,
Yeah.
and they can't really. They have a hard time focusing those ad dollars into those little areas, and so that's where I think that we'll be successful with our business, and where anybody that comes into the cannabis space will, because you'll have, the people doing the spa stuff that have like the little niche-y, packaging, and that's the presentation that people like, and those aren't things that, those big companies really care about, because they just assume that everybody knows. And a lot of that stuff, once you start reading those labels, it's not that great of a product. because you'll see a lot of stuff made with like hemp seed oil, or like a lot of the stuff that's in Whole Foods doesn't really have any CBD in it, or if you have an isolate versus a full spectrum. Because once you take out, so like with a lot of the isolate products, like you're taking out a lot of the good stuff that makes it work and function at a higher level. And so when you see products that have just that, just be a little bit leery of, you'll get benefits from it, but you could possibly get a better benefit from the not watered down version that they're selling in, a convenience store or Whole Foods.
Cool. Aaron King says, I love you guys, Val and Jer, and now Arthur. That's from Aaron King. Will Whitehead, welcome to the broadcast. You guys have 5 states watching you right now. Uncle Yogi's Picnic Basket. Let's talk about the mechanics of the business model. I'm going to get out of your way. How does the business model scale? How can people get involved? How can they carry your product? Can this be sold anywhere online? And by what I mean by that is, if the website originates, say, with an IP address in Virginia, is someone able to buy in Arizona? I mean, everything, all the above.
Okay. Do you want to?
Yes, you can buy it in Arizona.
Okay.
Even Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be, I think it's scalable.
Okay.
I don't know why it wouldn't be able to be scalable. We have not had an official launch yet, so we're looking forward to that. We're thinking end of April.
May, middle of May.
Middle of May.
Okay.
Trying to jump that gun a little
But-
bit.
Yeah, but we have a great processor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we utilize brand Strax.
Two processors.
We do have 2. We utilize brand Strax down in Asheville, North Carolina.
Nice.
And Axie Blunden actually used to work at Latazza. So it comes back full circle to Charlottesville.
And our chemist, his name is Zebulon.
Yep,
And
Zebulon.
that's a true story, so
Brilliant.
you can trust that.
Like brilliant. And then we have Seth and Lisa Richardson in Buckingham with Kingsland, and they have the CBDA product, and they do a great job. So, and then our skincare products, we had a cosmetic chemist from France who actually formulated all of our products, and those are being made and processed down in Asheville. And so it's really easy for us because we have a website that we're working on that should be finished probably the end of April, beginning of May. And then you'll be able to go and order, and things will be shipped out, and it's all fulfilled through Brand Strax on Asheville. But they're getting ready to open a facility up here in Virginia, and that's what they're working with Joe Kuhn, I believe, on.
Yep.
So it's exciting.
Let's talk outside investors. Is that something you're interested in? We have a few.
Maybe eventually.
Okay.
I think we
Right
are,
now.
and see, we're working. That's what we were talking about, was splitting. So we'll have the golf brand owned by Uncle Yogi's. We'll
Okay.
have the skincare owned by Uncle Yogi's, because then we can have investors invest in just that.
Those individual silos.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
because
smart.
because an investor might not be interested in skincare, but they really love the golf. Or
Yeah.
they
The
might
The
not
guys
be
that I
interested-
know are not. It's hard to get them excited about bath bombs. Truly. Not that there's anything wrong
Sure.
with bath bombs. I love them.
Yeah.
I feel amazing. But yeah, keeping those separate is very important.
Yeah,
And they're so different.
He tried the mud mask, face mask, blew him away.
Tried it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a life changer.
That's why your skin looks so good.
Come on.
But yeah.
So what's okay? You got 2 people that are passionate and intelligent behind the brand. The brand means so much to both you guys. Named after your brother, and I know how much he's meant to you. You are scaling this. You're utilizing social. You're utilizing digital. You're going to build a website. You got the wholesale piece. How would you work? How do you work the cannabis piece into it?
So we talked about that. So we're going down to Florida today.
Okay.
Kids' spring break, and we had talked about, because they have THC down there.
Right.
And I mean, we do too now, but it's not. I just don't know how it's been manufactured just yet, but we talked about going to a manufacturing facility or processor down there, because we could, with the online, do THC sunscreen or, THC.
THC sunscreen.
Oh my gosh. I tried it once. My mom went to a cannabis show like years ago up in Vermont, like when it was first legal, and brought some back, like relaxing just like completely not feeling high because it's such a low dose.
Sure. Yeah.
But just like perfect for when you're out at the beach or out by the pool.
Yeah.
And so we can do stuff like that and start working on the products for that and selling them in those local markets. And we talked about getting a THC product into the dispensaries here in Virginia, because that's another possibility.
So that would be a straight brand play then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like you have this equity behind your brand, people recognize it, they trust it, and then that's why they would be willing to purchase.
Yep. And it's really cool how our design team, so we use Fresh Moves marketing is the Uncle Yogi's, and then Mortar is the to be determined golf brand.
Cool.
But Fresh Moves they color coded our logo, which is really cool. So it's got like the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's a very clean, professional looking brand.
Nice.
But each color denotes
Represents
a different, so if you have like a bunch of colors for all of our different products up on your shelf, you're like, oh, purple is the sleep because of the lavender.
Yeah.
Or what was the blue is the energy.
That's
or the,
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really cool, and we'll be able to do that with the THC products as well.
Do we see, multiple people are asking about the cannabis piece. I'll get to some of these questions here. Here's a good one from a restaurant owner. How do we see this being woven into restaurants and menus moving forward?
Easily, like we were talking about, having it in wineries, I think opens the door, because they serve food at wineries
Yeah.
too.
I mean, a butter is a good example.
Yeah,
Yeah,
butter's amazing.
Already
so,
being done.
Yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
so CBD gets you away from the high, actually. So there are restaurants that have a lot of weed in their menu, and then towards the end of it, like their desserts and stuff will be infused with CBD, so that you're able to drive home.
Walk
Yeah.
me through that from what you've seen with some of those restaurants,
Okay,
start
so-
to finish.
Okay,
Like if you
so
sit down.
Okay, so I think it's on Lifetime,
Okay.
like 2:00 in the morning. What's the name of that show? No, I'm not kidding.
It's
What's-
Cooking with Cannabis.
Cooking
Really?
with Cannabis.
And it's-
Yeah, man, they have judges and the whole thing.
Yeah,
and
because they give you like 8 milligrams
yeah.
of THC, and then you have like a 6 milligrams of CBD, and you have to use it all at some point in the meal. And you have to cook from like first course to dessert. And so some people will dose like all of it in the first meal.
Okay.
And then they let you they have that high, and that high carries you through the other meals. And then the dessert, they bring the CBD, because CBD takes you down. If you're too high, take CBD, it'll bring your high down.
counteracts the
So then you can
psychoactive
drive
part.
home safely.
Sure.
So I think in the restaurant industry that chefs should start learning how to cook with cannabis and how to put those meals together, and watch that show, because it's pretty amazing and hilarious, the judges, because they have
They
celebrity
enjoy it.
judges.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They're
That's
celebrity
awesome.
judges, yeah.
That's awesome. So this is something we really should go down, and I see it resonating with the viewers here. So you see, Lindsay Nelson, I'm going to get to your question here. It's a good question, Lindsay. You see the menus evolving soon, say locally here? I mean, Virginia's a little further behind, say,
A
a
little
Florida
bit.
and a Colorado and a California.
Yeah.
You see them evolving soon?
I think so. I think it might be a little niche-y in the beginning, like it's the cannabis den, and that's
Yeah.
all they serve. But I don't know. I'm curious, like when we go out to Washington in a couple weeks, I'm curious to see what those chefs are doing out there. Because I'm sure, I would think in some of the ones that have been around, those states I'm talking about, that it is on the menu. I just assumed. But yeah, hopefully it will go that way. I think it'd be pretty cool if that was part of the menu, like cocktails, or if you want you're talking butter on your filet to be infused with cannabis. I think it should be, and I can see it going that way.
I
mean,
totally
that's-
can too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way. Like I remember when it was all just Bud Light and Coors Light at bars, and then craft beers came out. I mean, I can't name a restaurant without a craft beer.
Right?
And so yeah, I would think it would go that way.
What do you think?
I definitely think
I
so.
mean, I would love nothing more than to eat a steak and get high. Sounds amazing.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's an art, and I think that we have some really great chefs here locally.
Right?
And I think that they're really incredibly talented, and that they can come up with these great meals and these great ideas. And they start cooking now with CBD, because that's what's legal. Put it on the menu, try it out, do it as a special.
Yeah.
And see how it
It's
sells
almost
out.
like a marketing tool that they could utilize to get new customers.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that people would go because they're curious.
The novelty.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the whole, part of it. And that's what we wanted to do with the little 7 milliliters at different bars, because they're cheap. People can try it. They can put it in their beer. They can take it home. They can put it topically on their skin and, do a little test and, see it, put it on your food. Do whatever you want with it. But
Kelly Jackson says, check out the Albemarle Cannabis Company. They have great CBD oils and THC. She put that on the feed here moments ago. This question is coming in from multiple people about beer, wine, and liquor.
yeah.
Infusion with beer, wine, and liquor.
So that's why we have the drops separate.
Okay.
So it's not impossible, but it's really hard for the local, because I talked to, I think I talked to Carrington King with
Okay.
King Family about
You
doing.
went to school with him, right?
I went to school with Carrington
Yeah.
about doing a CBD wine, a partnership with them. But the rules and regulations that you have to go through once you put CBD and alcohol are just so stringent. And so we have a glycerin-based water-soluble product, and it's almost easier just to put it
just
in
add it
separately.
yourself. It's
Yeah,
like
you
salt
just
and
add
pepper.
3 drops, 4
Yeah.
drops. The stuff that we'll give you, you can put it in, your tea at night.
Got it. So instead of going through this ridiculous red tape and
Yeah.
having this obscene barrier of entry, just serve the wine and beer,
Yeah.
and then you can bring this with you from somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That is really smart.
Yeah, 'cause
So is
then-
that also going to be the future with food? Do we think, or why is food different then?
Well, food is, so with food,
Food being served at a restaurant's a little bit easier because that's up to the chef. But once it gets involved in packaging alcohol,
Okay.
Yeah.
that is just
that's
Understood.
different. Yeah,
Okay.
that's just very different. And with food, it just has to be in an approved kitchen,
Okay.
a
Commercial
a
kitchen.
commercial kitchen, which that's every restaurant has an approved commercial kitchen. So,
Okay.
but that's just the biggest thing for consumption of CBD.
Jason says, Arthur and Val, what do you think Virginia or even Charlottesville is going to look like in 2024?
2024.
So that's when
Yeah,
that's full
that's-
retail there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
brick and mortar retail, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I think it'll look different. I think the landscape will be different. I think there will be brick and mortars. I mean, I don't think it'll be Boulder, Colorado
Yeah.
by any means.
I don't see, Charlottesville is so slow with that.
Yeah.
That I think that people are going to be kind of leery of opening a store because they just don't know who's going to come in.
I think Richmond will be way in front of that.
Yeah. I think we should be bolder with it, and I think people
Why?
should because it's moving there, and we're behind on everything else. It's why can't we be on the forefront of something?
Okay, okay.
It's get in front of it.
This is an interesting question. Can you guys explain the difference between a medical facility and one that is a retail facility?
So the medical facility, so if you're, I'm guessing talking about a dispensary,
Yeah.
the medical dispensary.
Yeah.
So those are usually prescribed
Prescribed,
by
right.
doctors.
Understood.
So the doctors are giving prescriptions for you to go in and get a specific strain or specific type.
Okay.
And a retail store, you're just going in there and picking whatever you want. If you want a purple rain or a pineapple express or whatever strain you're looking for.
John says, would you ever consider opening a headquarters that's brick and mortar that is home to retail, but also your place to outsource wholesale?
We talked about a food truck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is a good idea.
So-
Brick and mortar, that's mobile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we really thought about it.
it's like a
because-
marketing
Seriously.
mechanism as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because we wanted to, paint it, and then we could park it. We could take it to
Floyd Fest, all that
festivals,
stuff, yeah.
and but we did think about, and we still
Yeah,
think about it and
absolutely.
talk about it, because especially with COVID, because brick and mortar, a lot of places were closed, but the food trucks are open, and you could still do all of that. So we might down the road do that, but
That'd
I
be
don't know.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've made your passion your profession. I could tell you love this.
Yeah, stoked.
Put that in perspective for us.
How so?
Of how you've made work something you love and how it's made your day so much more enjoyable.
She helps. Seriously, very much so. I don't think that anything in life done solo is easy. So, like I was trying to say before, like sharing that with Val, and being able to have someone say, no, you're wrong, Art, and a lot, and then being able to explain to me why, helps. And yeah, that old cliche of if you find something that you love, you'll never work again is true for a reason. There are cliches for a reason.
I feel that way with what I do.
Yeah, and it's obvious, I mean, you can tell that you're enjoying it. And I guess that's coming across from us too, which is good because it is sincere, man. It truly, truly is.
Because you've seen the positive impact.
Oh my gosh, it just works, and like being able.
Give me a firsthand positive impact from the golf course.
From the golf course, 100% guys. Not every swing is the same, and on those golf courses that have caddies, most of the guys that have the ability to pay for that kind of membership have worked really hard and made a lot of money so that they're above 50, 60 years old. And watching guys use, especially with not so much the tinctures because it gets a little weird for those guys to put stuff under their tongue, just not used to it. But if it's in a lotion that they can rub it on, I see it. I've seen it multiple times. Oh, it's not like it's a management, like what Val was saying. Like it's not their 21-year-old elbow or shoulder again. But what it does do for a period of time, especially 4 or 5 hours on the golf course, it just rounds those edges of pain. It truly does. And it's not masking it so that they can go out and climb rocks like a cortisone shot. It's like they know that it's there. They know that the pain's going to come back eventually, but it truly does take the edge off. So, and watching that happen to someone that's been going through it and taking, 4 to 6 Advil for the last 5 years, to have something that we've made with our great team, it's pretty cool to watch happen, So.
But firsthand, we did try, because we hadn't tried the Delta 8 before, and we did, and went and played golf.
Yeah, we did.
And his words was that he said, usually if I make a bad shot, like I'm pissed off about it.
Yeah.
And it's really like upsetting. He's like, don't even care anymore. Like, yeah, bad shot, we'll just get it on the next hole. And so that was one thing with the Delta 8.
Delta 8, yeah.
Specifically.
Also didn't know all that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, how about this?
Like for real, dude.
So much of sports, certainly golf and certainly life, is like getting out of your own way in your mind.
Very much so.
Like it's like, grew up playing golf in Williamsburg in Kings Mill, and I remember like when the first tee shot on the first hole, dude, if it was 250 down the middle,
what's that?
the round goes well.
Yeah, it's true.
If the first tee shot on the first hole is like a duck hook, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, we're back at it again.
And dude, and then I'm like, it doesn't, like, I can't get over, and that's
Right.
obviously the difference between like a professional golfer and a weekend hack.
Yeah,
but
but still, even those guys out on tour, they talk about it all the time, especially with Tiger. And it's like, man, all these guys are really, really good, right? But that mental fortitude of being able to either forget that last shot on the first tee or, moving forward or however those guys do it, they're also good. But that's another thing that some of the CBD, like the strains Val was talking about, do work as far as focus goes. For me, I don't have a lot of pain, just 42 years old of straight up abuse pain. I was never in a car accident like that or anything. But for the mental part and I'm not that anxious of a guy either. I'm not doing a good job of selling this. But if I do get a little, not nervous, but apprehensive on the golf course sometimes, and taking a couple milligrams of CBD does just relax me. Not to the point where I'm apathetic, like I still want to hit good golf shots, but it's like, sun will rise tomorrow, it's okay. Does that make sense?
It does, it quiets
Yeah,
your
it does.
mind.
The noise
Like
leaves
it
for a
quiets.
little bit.
And that's what we were talking about before the show came on, is that there's a strain we use called Purple Rain, and that's an anti-anxiety. And for me, that helps me go to sleep, where Sleeping Beauty makes me stay awake, which is, kind of
the opposite.
It should be the total opposite.
Yeah.
But the Purple Rain makes my mind quiet, and so all these ideas: what brand are we building tomorrow for Uncle Yogi's? What's our new focus?
Sure.
How are we going to do this? When's our website going to be done? Like all the little
I mean, you're
things that are
getting
just
that
going
now.
through.
People are like, where can we order?
Yeah.
I mean, what do I say to them?
Well, the site's up,
site's
and you
up.
can
Okay.
pre-order.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
Gotcha.
pre-order. It's UncleYogis.com.
Okay.
But that stuff just, that's why I was saying about trying and not giving up on one, because like where Sleeping Beauty might help you when you try it tonight, Purple Rain helps me. And so you just kind of have to go through those little things. And Carmen was the one that really works for Arthur for the golf course. That's that's the focus. The one for the people with ADHD, it helps those people, stay focused, because it also clears your mind.
Sure.
And so when you're doing a task on hand, I'm knocking, you can stick with it easier.
Beth Dunlap Marcus, good friend of the program.
Yeah, love
Beth. Me too.
Known
Beth's
her
great.
forever.
Giving you props and sharing the show. Colby Wright, hello. Still have 5 states watching here on the broadcast. All right, how about this give this the businesswoman's perspective. Charlottesville, Albemarle County, Central Virginia, we get leadership watching. They hire you as a consult, someone to come in from a consultation standpoint. What are you saying to them?
Who am I consulting?
Let's say City of Charlottesville or Albemarle County.
City of Charlottesville.
Why they need to get in front of this, what they need to do.
Get in front of it and give us a break. Because we just...
Tax-wise?
Tax-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, triple tax. It's just, give us a little bit of freedom, because the people that are wanting to do the industry the right way, and the people that are, growing the business the right way, and partnering with not the people that... We went to, when we were coming back from Asheville, we stopped by this place to try this tincture, which was supposedly a CBDA product. And they claimed that it won some sort of cannabis cup, and it was really expensive. Well, then we get it, we research it, there was no cannabis cup that it claimed it won.
It was all
and
BS.
The product sucked.
Really?
And so, there's so much of that, but those people will go away, because that's not something
people will
that's
see through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They had a QR code on the label that didn't work. The website was gone.
Yeah.
Phone numbers were disconnected.
Yeah.
But so those people weed themselves out. You don't need the city. You don't need the city council or the county council members to put handcuffs on the people that are wanting to do it the right way. Because those people that are doing it the wrong way, we're policing them.
Right.
We are, because we are passionate
about
this.
Are you a libertarian? You sound like a libertarian. I'm very much a libertarian. I love this mindset right here. Amen.
Yeah, because we're making sure that they're doing it the right way. Because if they mess up our industry, then we're screwed
Everyone's
too.
effed.
Yeah. So it's just, let us do what we are good at, because that's what we're good at. And, stay in your lane, and you guys do what you're good at, and then we'll be fine. So.
What do you think?
It's very, very true. And it's happened fast. Like the guys that are selling that stuff, at the gas stations next to the other pills.
Yeah.
That stuff's no good.
Okay, that's super
just
shady?
Yeah, I mean, good for them, but that's fly-by-night stuff. Like, they'll probably make, a couple grand right off the bat, but eventually, like Val was saying, it just proof's in the pudding. A good product's going to stick around. That stuff, it's not. It says it right on the label. You just have to know that label's telling you that it's bad. That it's not good.
Yeah.
If it says hemp seed oil, just give it back to dude. Seriously, it's not a carrier. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
How does this, the excitement we get when launching a business, that like rush, it's like adrenaline, and it's like, what does Marcus Lemonis calls it, the process? Like, how does this process for you, Val, compare to like some of the other businesses you've built?
I talked to Arthur about this a long time ago. I said, with real estate, the most people I have helped in a year has been, 100 people.
Okay, 100 transactions.
100 transactions.
Okay. That's a hell of a lot.
Oh my God, it was the worst year of my life.
Yeah? You made a lot of money but had no life?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Exactly, yeah. And it actually was the year Caleb died. So I just kind of immersed myself. I had to. I had nothing else to do. Or I was going to be sad. But I don't ever want to do that again. And I could only help 100 people. So me putting, my pedal to the metal, focusing 100% on work, I could only help 100 people. But with this, thousands of people, millions of people. So the feeling with that, to actually be able to help that many people on a bigger scale and truly help them, that's really exciting for us. And that's just kind of a next level thing that I could never achieve with real estate. So it's really exciting, and I'm glad to be able to share that, starting off here locally in Charlottesville, because it's going to be something really big. And we've got great partners that are committed to, taking this nationally, taking it into something that, into our guy, Jared, in Washington State's meeting with the NBA commissioner, or met with them last week.
Yep.
About, bringing the CBD products. And I guess they have an orange peel extract into the NBA with cannabis or
Very
cannabinoids.
nice.
So we have a great partnership with people that will make it happen.
This is an interesting comment, and we'll kind of wind down the interview here. We're about an hour in. Jerry, please emphasize the value that CBD could have for pets like our dog,
Yeah.
who has the most stress during lightning storms, to the point where he's either going to the bathtub or crawling under the bed and won't come out for a day or so.
Yeah, man, that's tough, because we're pet owners and dog lovers for sure. We're going through that right now.
Yeah, but we
because
want to make sure.
We want to make sure it is the right stuff.
It's safe.
Because we were talking about, like, CBD can harm the dog or the cat's liver. And so we are trying to make sure once we do have that product available, that it is the right one. Because
Yeah.
I'd hate for the dog to no longer be scared of lightning, but then have liver damage. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can't have that. So we don't give it to our dogs right now.
Yeah, but
we probably
so
should.
like Michelle Snow that was on earlier, she had a cat that got injured and it was immobile and they couldn't get it to walk and they couldn't get it to drink or anything. And so my daughter comes running and she's like, "Mom, can we try the CBD?" We put like 1 drop on the little cat's belly. Like 20 minutes later, cat's fine, jumping around, running around, totally fine. But Seth, our processor in Buckingham, he's actually using the leftover biomass, and he's been donating it. And he's trying to get a partnership with the SPCA here locally, but he's been working with the pit bull rescue, and it is doing wonders with the pit bulls. And so just helping with the anxiety and assimilating back into society once they've been, abused and neglected and dog fights and stuff. And it's showing really good promise. And he's working with a vet to make sure they're reading liver levels, they're doing blood testing. So when it comes, it will be a great product, and we are working on that.
That's what we're waiting on, but we can't wait.
Yep.
I've saved one of my favorite questions for last.
Okay.
How's Melissa Wright Easter doing? I love her mom. I love her mom.
She is good. We will see her tomorrow.
She's in Tampa?
She's in Tampa.
Okay.
And
I follow her on social. She's living the dream right now.
So
she
she
right?
has found her dream, because she gets bored, retirement. But she's found this dream job that she wants. And I said, "Mom, you should go do it." But it's serving mimosas to people watching the manatees.
What? She would love that. Yeah.
I was like, then she can meet new people and she
Yeah.
can serve mimosas and watch the manatees. I was like, that is your perfect job.
Yeah.
But
So she used to serve coffee to Charlottesvillians. Now she's serving mimosas to
That's
tourists
pretty
watching
seamless.
matinees. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
Please tell your mom I said
I
hello.
will.
Yeah, her
I
mom
will.
was the fantastic face of the La Tasa brand for, was it 12 years?
13.
13 years.
Yep.
A restaurant and coffee shop that is undoubtedly missed. Now it's Bell. Bell in Belmont. Well, you guys are absolutely amazing. Anything else we didn't cover we want to
I
add?
think we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, we're excited.
UncleYogis.com?
UncleYogis.com. We probably in the next couple weeks we will have a name and a brand identity for the golf brand. We're headed out to Washington for a golf tournament on 420.
Nice.
Called
Chronic
Chronic Relief.
Nice.
And David Tran is putting that on. He started Dope Magazine, which
Yeah.
just sold to High Times for a meager sum of $11.2 million.
Dang.
So
Yeah, and he's still charging for spots for the event.
I know.
He's a businessman. It's the businessman.
But we're excited to meet the team out in Washington and come back with some more knowledge and share with you guys here.
Oh, anytime. We'll roll out
Yep.
the red carpet, and now you have the dubious distinction of a 20-hour car trip. Is it?
Wow.
Is it
Yeah,
20?
12.
Oh,
12.
12.
I don't
Okay.
know.
With
Depends
two
on if you
West
kids.
has
stop.
12. Yeah, how many times we stopped, who knows?
Yeah.
Hopefully 12. I don't know.
12 to where?
12, like how far do we get?
Well,
12
where are you
hours?
going?
Oh,
Tampa.
we're going to Tampa.
Oh, Tampa.
We're going to
Yeah.
Tampa.
Okay, fantastic.
But
Yep.
12 hours in, we might be at like Savannah,
Yeah. Then we're going down to Naples to see Dad because he's still down there. So I get to see
Awesome.
both the parents. Haven't seen him since Thanksgiving.
They get vaccinated?
I don't know. I don't think they have yet.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Well, we wish you guys the best of luck. It was great to meet you.
Absolutely, man.
Seriously, anytime you guys want to come back, please.
Cool.
Please, please, please. I can't wait to see like the brand boom and grow, and you guys help people and like it be everywhere. It seems like you have the Midas touch. Everything you touch seems to turn to gold. You have a hell of a partner here.
Yes, I do. Very fortunate.
And anytime, seriously, I mean that.
Cool.
You guys want to come back.
Thank you.
It's UncleYogis.com for those that are asking, UncleYogis.com. Support the businesses, guys, that grew up here. We love Charlottesville and Central Virginia. Let's support them. This is the I Love CVille Show. We talk real talk. We feature entrepreneurs, business folks, and agents of positive change and long-form content. That's the whole mission of the show. Thank you for joining us. We are back tomorrow at 10:15 with our real estate show, and then at 12:30 with the I Love CVille show. You guys have a good afternoon. Take care. Nicely done.
All right.
Was that good? Did we do good? All right.